Folks, Shane Getson here, the MLA for Lac Ste and Anne-Parkland, just traveling up Highway 43 and obviously doing the speed limit because there's folks passing me on the highway. Heading up towards Marathorpe here right now. Wanted to talk a little bit about Bill 32, and once we post this video we'll have the actual name of it and everything else, but right now it's one of those labor bills that Minister Copping's put in place. And you might hear a lot of negative press in the media on it, saying that we're taking away choice and anti-democracy and we're trying to bust up unions and all that. Couldn't be further from the truth. So some of the items of significant importance in there, when we were out campaigning over a year ago now, it was about the opt-in ability of the union hands, so folks that belong to unions, to be able to have a say of where some of their union dues were going. And one of those, the biggest ones that we were hearing at the doors, was the political parties. So as you might recall, we had Keep Hills up in our area, and a lot of folks worked in that mine. A lot of those miners and the folks in that industry, all the way through, the good union hands that are out there, their union dues actually were being put towards political action groups and towards one of the political parties who was anti-energy. So wouldn't you find it ironic that your paycheck that you're giving portions of your value, hard-earned money, to go towards a campaign to shut down your job? So that didn't resonate very strongly for the folks out there, and they brought it to my attention on a couple of times that they also wanted some help in that. So one of the items that came forward was, now if this bill passes and reaches royal assent, we'll give the folks that are belong to the unions an opt-in clause. If they want it to go towards that, they want the union to make decisions where their potential value from their union dues are going for political parties, then they have the option. But the rest of them that don't want them to, you do have an option now. So that's kind of a good one. The other thing that came up there was, which I think is really good, is on the major project side. So it helped redefine a bit what major projects were, and it comes down to that collective bargaining. So major projects will have a given life cycle, and within that life cycle you can have actual work agreements on the sites. So that's going to help out a bit better to help get folks investing and hopefully get some projects and get a bunch of people working here again. And the other interesting part that was a tack on there was also having a union, if that was the case that was doing that bargaining, not to have to have an agreement by each individual trade. So you can actually do it once, speak on behalf of the trades that are in that, and that establishes actually better for both regards, for both groups, because then you have more certainty for the rates, you have more certainty in length and duration, and it removes a bunch of ambiguity in when it could be instilled. So those are two of the big items. A couple other housekeeping items in there too. There was one on coming up with the hours of work. So I've heard some crazy things on hours of work. When it comes to overtime itself, I've been hearing a lot of stuff saying, well, now it's no longer overtime after 12 hours, and it's no longer overtime after 44. Again, that couldn't be any further from the truth. What it came down to was those agreements that are put in place between the employees and the employers of how those hours are calculated during a normal work week. So a lot of folks in the construction side of things, you make hay while the sun shines and you're working during the summer. Well, there's an ability to look at what a normal work week duration is, and then when it would be calculated overtime after that. So again, it's giving more flexibility for those folks that are working within a certain environment or a certain work cycle to have that agreement that lasts for upwards to a year. Overtime still exists. 12 hours, 44 hours still exists. It's just how you come up with those hours during a regular work week. So hopefully that clarifies it a bit. Obviously I don't have the bill right in front of me, but those are the high points from it. Look forward to any questions or comments. And you guys take care and be safe. We'll talk to you soon.